Hello, good afternoon. Well, this is take 2 because I got interrupted by the phone. And I'm no good at piecing things together, so I might as well just start all over again. I've only got a bit into it anyway. Right, start off. What's been happening with me? Well, that with phone call was all about that. I got a letter this morning saying I needed a hip x-ray. And I'm like, oh, what happened to the CT scan result? What happened to that? He's just not mentioned that at all. So I rang the secretary and she said she'll have to query it with him because he hasn't written anything up about the CT scan. So I'm still no wiser as to why I need a hip. Well, I do know why I need a hip x-ray because I've been complaining about my hip for years. Years and years and years. And apparently they said they found some anomalies on my CT scan, so I don't know. Well, it wouldn't be me, would it, if I didn't have anomalies? I like having big words. Anyway, I'm seeing my GP tomorrow anyway because my leg's flared up again, but you don't want to worry about that. And I'm fed up. It's a happy, happy day, isn't it? Right, the great tea debate that's been going on between Pam, Zoe, what was it? Oh, my mind's gone blank. Sheepishly sharing. Sorry, I'm going to. I'm doing that an awful lot these days. I think I'm getting that old timer's disease. Anyway, they were talking about tea. And I used to drink tea. I was brought up on tea. Good old Lancashire lass brought up drinking tea from a very early age. And then when I was expecting RE, and I didn't know I was expecting for 3 months. You might think that's a bit weird, but that's the way it was. Don't want to go into personal details, but I didn't know. But I'd gone off tea. And I couldn't, my mum used to say, do us a favour, Jan, make us a cup of tea, make us a pot of tea. Now she liked loose leaf tea. You know, warm the pot, put the tea in, blah, blah, blah. I have been told, by the way, that I make the worst cup of tea in the world, but that's by the by. People have stood by the side of me, watched me make it, and they still don't understand why I make a terrible cup of tea, but... Anyway, I used to start heaving up when I, you know, the smell of the tea or anything, throwing up. And then I found out that I was pregnant, so I thought, oh, maybe that's it. So I didn't drink tea all through my pregnancy, didn't want it, didn't fancy it. After I'd woke up after I delivered Ariel, because I had anaesthetic, they said, I bet you're dying for a cup of tea, aren't you now? And I'm like, oh. I thought, well, maybe it was just a pregnancy thing. So they brought me this tea. I drank part of it and then I just threw up everywhere. So that was the end of my tea drinking. I have tried since. You name it, I've tried it, you know, Ceylon, Indian, whatever tea. I've tried it. The only one I can sort of keep down is green tea. But the one that you get in the Chinese restaurant, for some reason the one I buy isn't like that. Anyway, I tried the Twinings fruit selection tea. Tried one of those yesterday. There's strawberry and cranberry and blackcurrant and everything. They're all mixed with other things, you know, they're not just strawberry. There's mango and raspberry. They're all multi-flavours. You can probably read them, I can't, because I haven't got my glasses on. Anyway, I made one of the strawberry, raspberry and whatever yesterday. And I managed to drink it okay, but only with 2 sugars in it. Which isn't doing my diabetes any good, so I don't think that will be on my general list of tea. I shall either stick to water or I'll stick to whatever. Right, what have I been doing? Oh, I had an order from ICE. But I did say if it was for an order for somebody else, I would be ordering. And that's for a lady who wants a crochet cardigan done. I wore the same pink, well, similar pink, in one of my videos a little while back. And she wanted a similar colour. And of course the yarn I used was a discontinued line that I got from somewhere. So this was the nearest colour that I could get to it. It looks really, really nice. It's nice and shiny. And it looks like it's going to crochet up really well. But of course, being me, you know, I mean, let's face it, the ICE postage is, isn't it? So, I would like to order 2 of those. But these sneaked into my basket as well. I'd had my eye on them the other week and then I thought, no, you're not going to order them because you said you weren't ordering anymore. But when I had to order the pink, of course, I had to sneak these in the basket because they were so inexpensive. They were in their sale. And that's gorgeous, isn't it? Sort of like a super chunky. I can visualise doing, you know, cowls or hat and scarf sets with that. I know I should be thinking about spring things and sleeveless jumpers and things like that, but the weather's just not in it, is it? That's a lovely bright one. Excuse me for colour sweetie, got the mouth dry. There we are. That's another one. I can never find out what they call these because you order them and then they come and they just say ice yarns on them. They don't really say anything. If Sue was here, she'd manage to find a small print, but I never can. The trouble is, if I show them to you, by the time you get to the ice web page, they're usually gone. Oh, that one's stuck down really well, that one. Now this one here is, I won't say it's a disappointment, I do like it, but it looked much deeper colours on the page. I mean, that's the only problem. I have to order online because I've got no local wool shops here to me. And of course I've only got my scooter as transport. So I have to order online, which is unfortunate really. Every now and again, if I'm lucky, my niece will take me up to a wool shop, or, you know, in the summer Sue and I have got it pegged down to go to a couple of others, which are quite make a day of it, you know, quite a bit of a way away. But we don't want to go in this kind of weather. And then that's the last one that I ordered. These will probably be cowls or something of that nature. I've been very lucky this week. I've sold a couple of things on my Etsy shop, so I'm very happy about that. What else have I been making? Oh, I finished, this is an order. When I say I finished it, I obviously haven't trimmed the fringe yet. But this is the stole shawl in all shades of pinks, and there's a bit of lilac in there, but mostly it's pinks. Now that is gorgeous, that eyelash, but one ball only did one row. So I would have put more in it if it would have done 2 rows, but it didn't. What am I doing at the moment? I'm doing this, which as you can see is a lot shorter. It's going to be one of those neck warmer things, going to fold over, and it's probably going to have, I've been ordering some little brooches, and I was going to put like a flower and put the brooch in the centre so that you could fasten it however way you wanted it. You could fasten it on the shoulder, you know, you could fasten it at the front anywhere you wanted. So I thought I'd have a go with the little ones to see what happens with those. What else have I been getting? Oh, my scented candles, you can see. I do love scented, smelly things. Love them to bits. Oh, there's 2 of them. Oh, can't reach them. These are what I've been ordering. That's just a couple of them anyway. Came today. 2 little brooches. That, as you can see, you can visualise them in the middle of a flower. And using the centre of the brooch as the pin bit. I'll put a hole in the middle of the flower, not make it closed, so that it can actually, you know, go through. So we'll see how that one goes. And then what else have I been getting? Well, I had it in my head, I'd seen this pattern in my pattern books. And I don't know where they've gone, my books. They don't leave the house. I swear they don't leave the house, but they just seem to vanish without trace. I do usually find them again somewhere stupid, but it could be weeks, months along the line. Anyway, I had this book before. It's called The Crochet Scarves, and I thought that the one I got in my head would be in here. But after it arrived, it turned out they weren't in here. But it's the Vogue knitted. It's called Vogue Knitting, but it's called Crochet Scarves, yeah. And there's quite a lot of scarves in here. Let's come past the bit where it teaches you how to fringe. That's the scalloped edge scarf, which is quite pretty. Be nice in something, you know, fine and a bit sort of fluffy-ish. That would be nice. And that I absolutely love. It's a zigzag stitch, but it reminds me there's a beanie that's made by I think it was Laura off the Crochet Zombie that made a beanie very much like that. I can't remember its name. I'm sure somebody will correct me because you've all made it, I think. So I thought that would be nice together, black and white together with the hat. And that one is just, I would imagine it's probably shaded wool, but it looks too neat to be shaded wool, so it could be just stripes, yeah, but done in a lacy pattern. That one is the, you know, that tri-corner, three-cornered scarf. Shawl, sorry. Or scarf, neckerchief, however big it is, I don't know. That is done in variegated wool. What I do envy about in this sort of US is you get lovely long variegated yarn, whereas ours is so bitty that when you crochet it, it tends to look chunky rather than nice long stripes of colour. That's a fun fur scarf, but you could probably do it in other yarns. I mean, we can get the long length, but don't get me wrong, but they're in the high-end price range, you know, they're not in the price range that I can use to sell on. I have to be careful because if I spend too much money on the actual yarn itself, that I can't sell anything because it comes out too expensive. Not that I make much money on anything, as I've said before, but, you know, you do like a little bit of something for your time, don't you? I'm not sure what that is, whether it's a stretchy, cowly, whatever. Don't know what they call that. Well, they call it a stole, so it must be very plain stole. And that's quite pretty, that's called a gypsy wrap. That would be nice and something very fine and delicate. You know, it's the kind of thing you could take on your holidays just to keep the chill off your shoulders in the evening. Now that, I'm sorry, I just don't like that. The paisley shawl or something, I just don't like it, sorry. Don't know whether it's the colours they've used, but it just doesn't do anything for me at all. That's cables. It's a shawl, it's well, I keep saying shawl and it's a scarf. That's a scarf, that's cables. I do like cables in crochet, you know. I've made a few jackets for myself. In fact, I might make myself another one soon. That's a neck warmer, but it looks more like a scarf to me. It's like a bobble stitch. That's all done in squares. And that one is too. There's quite a lot in this book, isn't there? Actually, it was reduced, so it was quite a good bargain. Got it from Amazon. And that's an eyelash scarf. I use the eyelash yarn, but I use it more sparingly. I don't know whether I would like to actually crochet a whole garment with it. That's a nice textured scarf. I have trouble with eyelashes. I find as I've gone along that, you know, further back I've crocheted into the whiskers, not actually into the thread. And then of course it just spreads apart into a hole and you can't get it undone, so you've wasted whatever. That's a granny square. That's why I think I only do it in rows at a time. Then if I've lost a row, then it's just... I mean, I have actually used scissors and snipped it out of a row if I've made a mistake. That one's called a seaman's scarf, but I don't actually think many seamen would wear anything like that. Unless it's a high sailor. That one's done in, I think it's done in 2 threads, different threads. It's quite a nice one. As you can see, there's such a lot of scarves in this book. That's another one done in my dreaded motifs. Don't mind squares, don't like circles. You probably know that by now because I've told you often enough. I would never make a doily. And that's a quick, daisy chain scarf. Well, I don't know how many scarves are in this book, but there's a lot, isn't there? Well, that's nice, the buffalo plaid. Be nice and manly, isn't it, that one? Or lady if you do it in nice colours, yeah. That's pretty. Not keen on the colours they've used, but I like the scarf. It's pretty. And that one's the front cover one. Very unusual. I don't know if it tells you how many scarves are in this. That says flower motif, although it looks more like squares. How many more pages have I got here? Another one. Oh, that's granny squares linked together in a long line. I must be getting near the end. must be. Multicoloured mesh scarf. That's the last one in the book there. Now I don't know if you've been counting, but there's quite a lot in there, isn't there? It's the Vogue Knitting Crocheted Scarf book. And I got mine for about £5 something. That was on Amazon. And then because what I wanted wasn't in there, I ordered crochet scarves too. Only to find after this one arrived that the one I want is actually in crocheted shawls. Another one of these, another same Vogue. So I've ordered that. So you've got that to look forward to, haven't you? What have we got in here? I hope you can see because it's going darker and darker by the moment here. That's a cluster stitch fiesta scarf. It's short. Put your teeth in, Janet, and start again. It's scarf. Not only am I going brain dead, I can't speak now. That's a basket weave one. That's for Zoe. She loves her basket stitch, does Zoe? That was quite pretty. It's almost like a spring-like shawl, isn't it? Will you just slap me and tell me to stop saying shawl when it's a scarf? That's quite dainty looking. You could wear that in the spring rather than to keep you warm. And that's another pretty one. It's a floral striped one. But it's got all the little flowers on the edges. That one says easy scarf. It looks like a mesh actually, looking at it. Oh, that's an unusual one, zigzag. Looks almost zebra-like, doesn't it? Oh, that one's done in, you do 3 long strands and then you braid them all together. You know, rather like you braid your plait, your hair. Yeah. That one's just, oh, it's Tunisian, that's why it's very plain. I've yet to master tuning. I can do the stitches, but I can't get my tension right. That's a lush beaded scarf now. I wouldn't fancy that around my neck. I wouldn't fancy all those wooden beads clonking around my neck. I think it's more for decoration, isn't it? And then the ones that have been done to death, of course, like the ruffled. I think if I see another ruffled scarf, I'll scream. That's a cute one. That's a penguin. That'd be nice for a child. That's a cabled one. Have you heard that little beep? That was my phone telling me it's fully charged. Back again to medallions. My absolute favourite. Not. Now I do like that one. That's called a squiggle scarf. I think it's got like a ruffle stitch all the way down the length of it that makes it look squiggly. I think that's quite nice. Mind you, it's still got purple in it, you see, so my eyes are immediately drawn to anything that's purple. Well, that's just freeform, but I don't exactly call it freeform. It looks more like flowers on a straight bit to me. That's another thing I've not mastered yet, the art of freeform. I can make things up in my head, but when you're talking freeform, you go in different directions and circles and squares. My mind just doesn't work that way. A wave pattern scarf. Again, it's very, very dark, so I don't think you can see it too well. But they are good value, these books. That's a spike stitch. I mean, I've bought books for, what, £5 and £6 and there's been absolutely nothing in them. Yeah, these have got such a lot in. That's a 3-strip scarf. They're stitched together in places, I think, or crocheted together in places. but it's actually like 3 strips. I mean, those are decorative scarves, aren't they, really, rather than, you know, warmth. Now that I really don't like these. I don't know why I don't like them. Maybe they're your taste, maybe they're... I just don't know why. They just look like a load of flowers sort of like thrown together. Hodgepodge. It's just not my thing. Perhaps I'm not feminine enough to wear them. That's an open work diamond scarf. And that one's a modular. There's certainly a lot of scarves to choose from, isn't there? If ever I want a scarf, I'm not stuck for choice, am I here? And that's a striped lace one. Where are we gone? We're nearing the end again. Oh, that's another one with flowers on them. I think book 2 seems to be the floral scarf one, doesn't it? Oh, that's unusual. It's called Holding Hands scarf. If I turn it on one side, you can see the people holding hands. I don't think I'd ever make it, but that's unusual, isn't it? Now we're getting near the end here, so there's maybe one more. Oh, the shell scarf wrap. I think that might be it now. Let me just check. Yes, that's it. Just got the rest of these notes. So that's me done really for the Sue will hopefully be coming this week, maybe next week, I don't know. It depends which way her shifts run and, you know, the demands on her time because she's got 3 grandchildren. So I don't always see her every week. I'm hoping she's going to bring some of her shawls to show you. Hoping that she's going to put some of them on the Etsy shop because I need to put some more things on there. I'm getting a bit bare. The cupboard is looking a bit bare. I need to put a bit of an oomph in my... But I've been really getting tired again. I was so desperately tired yesterday, which is another reason why I want to go to see the GP to get some blood tests done. I'm hoping it's not the infection coming back. I'm just hoping I'm just tired because, I don't know, maybe I'm anemic, maybe I don't know. But I don't like to self-medicate, you know, with vitamins or anything like that until I know, you know, what my blood's telling me, really. Because I don't always think it's a good idea to pump yourself full of over-the-counter things. And, you know, you read all these things about you can give yourself the wrong thing, can't you? You know, overdose yourself with different things. And so I'd rather take my GP's advice, you know, as to whether I need a good multivitamin or whether he thinks I'm okay. So that's about it really. The sun's going in. It's not actually rained today and we didn't actually have any snow today. We had hail yesterday but not today. So now I've got to go and do the garden duties, as you know, with a dog before it actually goes too dark for me to see. He's fast asleep. There he is. There's the boy. Sleeping. Oh no, he's not. Somebody's walking past. So he's decided to have a look up. No Gigi today, they've changed his day. I'm pretty much floated, I don't bother what days they bring him. Obviously if one of his parents is at home, then he stays at home. He only comes to me when he's on his own. Excuse me, little one. He loves anything to do with fabric. I daren't leave anything around, like my crocheting, my coat, anything, because he pulls it down and claws at it and sleeps on it. And I don't want that to happen because he's very hairy. We don't want dog hairs on things I've got to send to people, do we? Because they wouldn't like it. The lengths I go to keep him away from anything I'm making. Because, you know, if people are paying for my things, they don't want half a buster, do they, you know? It's very difficult when you've got a dog. But fortunately, my little crocheting corner, he doesn't usually go into there, so we're quite safe. And I bat myself down and brush myself down before I even sit down to crochet. Sometimes I even wear my crochet apron, which is a white cotton apron that I put on. And you know, the dog hair isn't on that. So that keeps my crocheting well away from him. And I think that's about it for now. So maybe the next video, maybe Sue will be here, maybe she won't. Maybe I'll get an answer to why I got a letter that said I wanted another hip x-ray. I thought they'd already done a hip x-ray, but I might be wrong. But I do like the word anomalies. They found some anomalies. Whoops-a-daisy. The dog nearly fell off the sofa then. What are you doing, you dozy? Yeah, what are you doing, dozy? Oh, he's stood up wandering round now. His routine's out, you see, because normally it's Gigi today, so he keeps looking out the window. I think he's hoping that Gigi will arrive at some stage. But he's had a good bark at the postman, he's had a good bark at the man who brought the parcels. Yes. So now I wish he'd... Oh dear. What are you doing? He needs his toenails cutting actually, and that's what the problem is. She's supposed to be calling round to do them. So he can't get a grip, you know, on his feet. When he's on anything shiny like the sofa, he just goes sliding. He fell down the stairs. Well, he didn't actually fall down the stairs because I always walked behind him. But he slid. And he would have fallen down the stairs if I hadn't been behind him to catch him. So I think it's because he needs his toenails cutting, doesn't it, baby? But the lady's not been yet, has she? She said she'd come round last week. And she didn't, so I'll have to have a word with her again and see if she's forgotten us. Because we're not having any transport, I can't take him all the way up to the dog groomers. So we'll have to see how we go, won't we, baby? Okay. Yeah. So, anyway, that's enough about us, isn't it? And my woes, tribulations and Buster's toenails, that's enough, isn't it? Probably bored you all to bits by now. Anyway, bye from both of us, isn't it, Buster? Bye from both of us. And see you soon.